We've seen a huge rise in community platforms. And if you've paid close attention, you've seen a meteoric rise in two of them, Circle and Skool. And honestly, one of these platforms really surprised me. I did not think it was going to succeed. And it wasn't until I did this massive deep dive into the functionality and messaging that I finally understood how these platforms have both risen to the top, which is exactly what I'm going to share with you in this video to help you decide for yourself the best place to build your online community. If you don't know me, I'm your community strategist, Leever, and I've been building, supporting, studying, and growing online communities for the last decade. The first community I built became a multi-million-dollar revenue stream, and over the last 4 years, I've built over 30 communities and all-in-one platforms. So I know a thing or two about these types of tools. In this video, we're going to do a deep dive on the two platforms, what we love, what we hate, what made them so successful, and which deserves the right to host your community. Let's get started. To be honest, when I came across Skool a few years ago, I thought it was pretty lame and lacking in features, especially compared to their competitors and all-in-one platforms like Circle or Heartbeat. But following this insane fervor around the community platform, I finally decided to take a deep dive and look at their messaging, the platform, and the tools to understand how did this happen and how is this platform taking off? And to understand the rise of both of these platforms, you really have to understand first the problems that community builders are facing. Every community builder has two problems. How do I get my members engaging with each other? And how do I find more members? Skool founder Sam Ovens knew this, and he was brilliant. He said, Skool's value proposition is we've taken care of both of these things for you. Engagement is completely taken care of with our gamification. You don't have to do a thing. Finding new members has never been easier with our discoverability. And truly, discoverability is one of the main obstacles and one of the main points of resistance that I encounter when people are wanting to move into all-in-one platform, all-in-one community platform spaces. Circle's value proposition, on the other hand, is a little bit different. They say, we're the tool where you can build a valuable, transformative communal experience for your brand. We'll equip you with the features you need to market it in order to find new members, and we'll teach you how to create an engaging community. But how do they really do when it comes to delivering on this promise? To find out, we first have to understand who their target customer is. Skool, and you only have to be in their community or lurking around for 3 seconds of time before it's blazingly obvious. Skool is for finance tech bros. And also, curiously, like femme finance tech bros. It seems like they're targeting communities that live previously on Discord or Facebook groups. This strategy was massively enhanced when Alex Hormozi became Skool's co-founder and brought his vibrant, muscly, very loud audience of finance bros over into the fold. Circle, on the other hand, is primarily for creators and solopreneurs. It targets course creators, coaches, and consultants who are facilitating transformative experiences. The founders at Circle actually came out of Teachable. So they really approach community from an education-centric perspective. And the Circle community builders who are the most successful either had previous knowledge or have learned really quickly how to deliver a quality product by getting their members engaged and marketing that community effectively to find new members. Why it's so important to understand who each of these tools is marketing to, and also who built them, to be frank, is because of that promise. Skool is saying, we'll help you find your new members and we'll get them engaging for you with gamification, which really only works insofar as your ideal customer persona overlaps with who Skool has attracted to their member base. Enter the finance bros with big dreams and promises about how to make you millions. Circle, on the other hand, has positioned themselves as a tool. But a tool is only as good as the people who are using it. So naturally, it's taken a lot more time for them to see some significant case studies, which there are some incredible, absolutely thriving communities on Circle. But it makes sense that it's taken a little bit more time, whereas Skool shot off really quickly. The Skool founders are quite brilliant, and the vibe I get from them and every community that I've seen in Skool is we're here to help you learn the rules of the game Hack it, master it, and get rich. A lot of people want that. It's a pretty compelling offer. But what I've seen in circle communities is curiously different. These people are after something different. These communities are saying, we don't want to play by the rules of your game. We're sick and tired of this game, and we're making our own rules based on real connection and valuable, meaningful interactions. What I see in Circle is learning communities, wellness communities, communities that honestly don't buy the fake social media game anymore. So the TLDR is this. If your ideal community member is a finance bro, then by all means, build on Skool. If it's not, don't build on Skool. But let me explain more of why. Here's what I really like about Skool. First, they're so simple. And this is something that a lot of community platforms on the UX side get themselves in a lot of trouble. They have a super simple feed for conversation. It's one page. You have several different topics here, but even just this landing page is so simple and easy to understand. Even their pricing is super simple. One tier, one price, it's all included. There's no deliberating back and forth about what you need and getting nickel and dimed. The other thing that I really like is there's not a lot of customization. All right, you've got your classroom, your courses, your members, but a lot of the fields and functionality here is not you can customize in the leaderboard, you can customize look at me, I'm a noob. Is that supposed to be motivating me? Because it's not, because 89% of your members are noobs. Anyways, you can customize the names of the levels. You can also do that in Circle Gamification, but there's not much else you can customize. I put that under what I like because what you see in platforms Mighty Networks is the worst offender at this. Circle can also get you into trouble. There's way too many customization options for people to craft some really shitty community experiences. These other platforms, their solution has been to just layer over custom feature after custom feature after custom feature because they're saying we are going to empower you to build your community. So you need to tell us what you want and what's going to make you effective at that. Skool's taken a pretty different stance. They're we know how to do it. We know gamification works. TBD on that one. And our discoverability will get you new members. So they've kind of taken this stand that we know best. We're going to give you the product, but don't ask us to customize it because that's not going to work. So Skool took away the complexity of needing to spend a lot of extra time and money on your actual community platform setup by opting for a really simple design. And of course, like I said, their value proposition is genius. I don't actually believe it's all it's cracked up to be, but it's certainly getting people in the door. Here's what I don't like about Skool. Their focus on gamification as the solution to engagement. Let's go back to our feed over here so you can see. Let's check out let's go to leaderboards. All right, here we have our haven of gamification. Skool's bet is that gamification is the solution to your engagement. It's not. I hate to break it to you. Good engagement is your members creating valuable exchanges. If gamification can accurately quantify the value of exchanges between your members online and reward them accordingly and transparently, that is amazing. But that's just not where the tech is right now. And you can actually see proof of it in the customer community. So there was a recent post. This cracks me up because it's literally proving my point. I'm not happy with the recent trends in this community. This is a place for genuine conversations and connections with other community owners. This is not a place for you to X, Y, and Z. First of all, as a community builder, just saying what you don't want to see is so unhelpful. You definitely need to put some rules and parameters in place, but I would think that if your gamification strategy was working, wouldn't that be rewarding the meaningful interactions that you want members to see between each other? And how about instead of just talking about what we don't want to see, which clearly some shit is hitting the fan if that's all you can talk about, how about we share what we do want to see? I still can't quite figure it out, what we do want to see in this community and what meaningful, valuable interactions are taking place. But I digress. The reality is, there's really strong reason to believe that gamification can actually have the opposite effect in your community if you're not careful, which I don't think that they're being careful. There's a study quoted in Susan Cain's book, Bittersweet, where they found that a person's increase in status or title diminishes their willingness to be helpful towards others, which is fundamental to good community engagement. Folks, you need folks to want to be helpful to one another. The TLDR is this: gamification can be helpful, but proceed with caution, and do not bank your entire engagement strategy on gamification like Skool has. The other thing I don't like about Skool, and it's what I said before as one of the positives, but it's also a negative, is a lack of customization. So you basically have two places that you can customize your own branding. You have your little logo up here and your little cover image over here. It's pretty obvious when you come in to build in Circle, you are building a Skool community, not a community hosted on Skool. And that leads me to my next point, which is like just a tiny little terminology thing, but I think it's like really weird that they overlooked it. So each Skool community is called a group. And then within your group, the community is like your discussion feed. So, which is just like confusing to me. Like, why don't we call them Skool communities and then just call this discussion? Whatever. I nitpick. Here's my prediction for Skool. They're really riding right now on Alex and a handful of others migrating these broy audiences of followers. They're investing clearly a ton in paid ads because I get targeted all the time. From that, they're hoping that you will be able to leverage this new audience that is now congregating on Skool. That's great if your target audience is finance bros or femme finance bros. But if it's not, you're still stuck having to solve the problem of engagement and finding new members. But now you're doing it on a platform that really wasn't built with your members and their motivations in mind. Let's talk about Circle. What I love. All right, this is the Circle customer community. And I think the customer communities are a pretty good snapshot into like the capabilities and who all is gathering here for you to identify, like, does this align with you and the type of space you're trying to build or not? So the Circle community here, honestly, this left-hand sidebar is like so jam-packed, but there's so much knowledge shared in this community at any given second. And it's actually, when you break it down, pretty simple to find what you need here on the left-hand sidebar, but you can see pretty quickly why like it's not as simple as Skool. And so people really have to be guided through the experience. Circle's primary thing that I love is their customizability and their white labeling. So it's so obvious when you build your community in Circle, like it's your community powered by or hosted by Circle. I mean, people might refer to it as a Circle community, but your brand is front and center. Circle's brand is secondary, which is the opposite of Skool. Circle's list of features far outweighs Skool's, like far outweighs. This is a community I have built called the Aloha Campervan community. It's not launched yet. The features in here on the settings in the back end, all of these features can be customizable. You don't even have a custom domain in Skool. So to get the full like skinny on all of the features and a side-by-side comparison between Skool and Circle, check out the blog post that is linked in the description of this video. But way more features available in Circle than on Skool. While their architecture might not be as completely stripped down and simple as Skool's, Circle, compared to other community platforms like Mighty Networks, stands far and above in the user experience. I do have another video comparing Mighty Networks and Circle. If that's interesting to you, go ahead and click on it. And finally, their segmentation. So segmentation is a really big feature that's like very necessary for almost every community creator. It's very rare that you have just like you're inviting everyone into one singular experience, but you're going to need to like isolate your members into different segments to create small groups, which creates stronger bonds, but also different people might be on different journeys. And so having a way to identify that in your community is extremely helpful. I was pretty shocked to see so little segmentation available in Skool. In Skool, you can segment people based on like if they joined a specific course, and you can also segment them if they've hit a specific level, but that's really the limits. There's no like custom segmentation that you can control. Now to what I don't like about Circle, and it's frankly their pricing. They have a pretty complex pricing structure with 4 different packages just for getting started. Then they have Scale Up. They started with more of the course creators. Now they're moving into like enterprise course creators, but also like enterprise brand communities. Frankly, they nickel and dime you, and it's really annoying. And you can't even get an API until you're paying $99 a month or $89 a month, I guess they're saying. I mean, even Skool has an API, but they're $99 a month. So I guess maybe they knew that and said, we're not going to give you anything that Skool doesn't give you for that price. The other thing that kind of drives me nuts about Circle, and it's the main reason that I will send people to Heartbeat depending on their program structure of their community, is how Circle handles public versus private events. And people don't often consider this early on because it's something that gets them into trouble further on in the community when they're thinking about their strategy for how they're attracting new members with free events. So I have another video comparing Circle and Heartbeat. Go watch that video because I'll explain those differences in more detail. So here's my prediction. Skool will get a lot of these connection-centric communities that are looking for an alternative to Facebook, especially because they really still want a lot of that discoverability. This will work for some of them, but most of them are going to fail because Skool's demographics of users is so narrowed in on these finance bros. And unless they're able to really expand and help more than just muscly t-shirt people feel welcome in their space, I don't think it's going to last. I think Circle will ultimately be the long-term leader for truly transformative, meaningful communal experiences, and that also create a lasting impact, as long as it can effectively teach their community creators how to create communities that are programmed for good engagement and market those communities effectively to find the members who need them the most. And lucky for those folks, I help with just that. So check out the Ember community for creators building online paid communities. The link is in the comments. I've got affiliate links for both of these platforms in the comments. Like this video, let me know it was helpful for you if you want to see more free resources like this on the internet.